Can I say this, Tara? This conversation has been a little bit difficult for me to get my arms around because all it lends itself to is condemning racism. It seems to be that shallow, but I will say this. Here's where I think it's useful. Donald Sterling serves to surprise people who are not basketball fans. You and I are fans, and as you said, this doesn't come as a surprise.
Nope.
He has been the worst kept secret in the NBA for quite some time. But for someone who's not a fan, here you have a billionaire, plaintiff's lawyer, real estate magnate who is seemingly sophisticated, Jewish, and he is espousing things that you would expect most people image-wise attribute to a guy like Cliven Bundy. Cliven Bundy says it, and nobody is surprised. But what this serves to show you is racism comes in many forms and is not yet gone. And here's an example of one that might surprise you.
Yeah, National Journal made an interesting distinction about why this is not, you can't compare the Cliven Bundy comments to what Don Sterling is saying, because Don Sterling is in a position of power where he does control things and has more influence, as opposed to some rancher that's out in Nevada that, spouting off on different things. And that even in such a diverse institution like the NBA, that there can be a racist still pulling the strings, which is what the National Journal said. But something I find interesting about this too, though, is the conversation about him taking a lot of people have come out and said that they should take the team from him. He should be forced to sell the team and that he should lose his team. And you know what? As despicable as of the comments that he's made, as despicable as they are, I don't think that's the way to go either. Because then, there are advertisers that are pulling out. There are players that can decide whether they want to play for him or not.
Speak, not the government.
Right. Don't let the government come in. And the NBA the commissioner doesn't really have the power to do that. The owners may be able to vote on something. And Michael Jordan, being the only minority owner in the NBA, he came out and said that he was disgusted by this and spoke out about it. But it's ultimately up to the owners, I think.
This isn't the first time we've seen this in professional sports. Marge Schott, the owner of the Cincinnati Reds, had horrible things to say across the ethnic spectrum. She had the management pulled away from her. Not that she had to sell the team.
Right.
She could no longer actively manage the team. You could see something like this. What I'd also like to say, this human rights stuff you point out from the LA City Council and the UN, we don't really need these people making political statements. Most of the time when someone is speaking like this, they're hoping to say more about themselves than the situation. They're rushing to, I'm not a racist. I'm not a